the headmistress, judges, teachers, and friends. My name is Leong Ho Jing from Phi Izora class. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about the 3 wishes. One day, a woodcutter was chopping firewood in the forest. He started to cut down an old tree that had a big hole in it. As he swung his axe at the tree, an elf jumped out. "Stop!" he shouted. "Don't cut down this tree. This magic tree is my home," said the elf. "If you agree not to cut it down, I will grant you 3 wishes." The woodcutter agreed. Then the elf said some strange words. Dot, dot, did, dot, dot, did, da, and poof, vanished. The woodcutter hurried home. He told his wife about the elf and the 3 wishes. She laughed and said, "You must have been daydreaming." After they talked, the man agreed that the elf was not real. As he tasted his soup, he sighed, "I wish we had sausages to eat." Suddenly, a string of sausages appeared right before their eyes. "Oh my God! The 3 wishes are real!" cried the man's wife. "You fool!" she said. "You have used up the first wish." This made the man angry. "I wish those sausages would fly up your nose," he said. At once, the sausages flew across the room and became stuck up the poor woman's nose. "Get them off me!" she cried. She pulled the sausages out, but they would not come out. The woodcutter also tried pulling the sausages out. They would not move. Finally, he said, "I wish for those sausages to leave your nose." Then, the sausages dropped from his wife's nose. The poor man and the woman never got to wish for a pot of gold, but at least they had sausages for supper that night. They were grateful at the end. Thank you.
A very good morning to our headmistress, assistant headmistress, honorable judges, teachers, and to all my friends. My name is Venice from 5H. The title of my story is The Milkmaid's Dream. The milkmaid was carrying a pot of milk on top of her head to sell it to people. The milkmaid, dreaming that she would get lots of good money by selling the milk to people. She would buy lots of eggs from that money, and the eggs will hatch into chicks, and the chicks will turn into chickens. The chickens will turn into hens, lay eggs, and she will earn lots of money by selling them. A big poultry business she would have. Very, very rich. She would purchase a hotel, bungalow, and lots of luxurious items. With cars and servants, she would look great like a princess. And charming princes would come to her with marriage proposals, but she would refuse them by shaking her head. The daydreaming milkmaid shook her head. The pot on her head fell to the ground, and all the milk spilled. Nothing was left except repenting for the silly milkmaid. Moral of the story: daydreaming is of no use. That's all for now. I really hope that you enjoy the story. Thank you. Have a great day.
Good morning to the headmistress, judges, teachers, and friends. I'm Kayla Lim Yun from class 5 Jasmine. Today, I'm going to tell you a story about the 3 wishes. One day, a woodcutter was chopping a firewood in the forest. He started to cut down an old tree that had a big hole in it. As he swung his axe at the tree, an elf jumped out. "Stop!" he shouted. don't chop down this tree. This magic tree is my home, said the elf. If you agree not to cut it down, I will grant you 3 wishes. The woodcutter agreed. Then the elf said some strange word, do-da-dee-do-da-dee-da, and poof, vanished. He told his wife about the elf and the 3 wishes. She laughed and said, "Lord, you must be daydreaming." After they talked, the man agreed that the elf was not real. As he tasted his soup, he sighed, "I wish we had sausage to eat." Suddenly, a string of sausage appeared right before their eyes. "Oh my God! The 3 wishes are real!" cried the man's wife. "You fool!" she said. "You have used up the first wishes." This made the man angry. "I wish those sausages would fly up your nose," he said. At once, the sausage flew across the room and became stuck up the woman's nose. "Get them off of me!" she cried. She pulled the sausage out, but they would not come out. The woodcutter also tried to pulling the sausage out. They would not move. Finally, he said, "I wish those sausages to leave your nose." Then the sausage dropped from his wife's nose. The poor man and woman never got to wish a pot of gold, but at least they had sausage for supper that night. They were grateful at the end. Thank you.
Good morning, the honorable judges, teachers, and my friends. I would like to tell you a story entitled The Clever Monkey. Once upon a time, a clever monkey resided on a tree that bore fresh, delicious berries. A day arrived when a crocodile swam up to the tree and asked the monkey,
My dear friend monkey, could you please give me some fruit? I'm very hungry and exhausted.
On hearing this, the kind monkey said, "Sure, here's some berries for you." The crocodile was very thankful. He asked the monkey if he could visit him again for some fruit. The monkey happily agreed. The crocodile came back the next day, and the day after that. Soon, this became a daily ritual and they grew to become good friends. As all friends do, they discussed the goings-on of their life and confided in each other. The crocodile told the monkey about his wife, who lived on the other side of the river. So, the generous monkey offered the crocodile some extra berries to take home for his wife. The crocodile and the monkey continued to grow closer as friends, and they always ate berries together. The monkey would often give the crocodile extra berries to take home for his wife. Because of how close the 2 friends had become, the crocodile's wife started growing jealous. She wanted to put an end to their friendship. She thought to herself that if the monkey survived on a diet of tasty berries, his flesh must be really sweet. So, she asked the crocodile, "Let's invite your friend over here for dinner." The crocodile refused, because he knew that his wife was up to some nasty trick. However, she was determined to eat the monkey's flesh. She pretended to fall ill and told the crocodile, The doctor claims that the only way I could keep from dying is a monkey's heart." On hearing this, the crocodile rushed to the monkey's tree and lied to him, saying that his wife had prepared them a delicious dinner. The monkey happily agreed and climbed onto the crocodile's back. Halfway through, the monkey noticed that the crocodile began to sink. Frightened, the monkey asked his friend why he was doing that. The crocodile explained the situation truthfully. The clever monkey told him that this was an unfortunate situation because he had left his heart at home. If the crocodile took him back,
He would gladly give his heart away to nurse the crocodiles right back to health. The silly crocodile fell for the monkey's clever lie and rushed back to the tree so that he could take the monkey's heart. As soon as they reached, the monkey hastily scampered up to safety and told the crocodile to tell his wife that she had married a fool. My friends, we must remain calm and use the presence of mind to get ourselves out of adverse situation. Thank you.
Hello, my fellow teachers and friends. Today, I am going to tell you a story about the lion and the mouse. One day, a lion was asleep under the tree. A little mouse saw him and thought it would be fun to play. He began running up and down on the sleeping lion. He ran up on the tail and slid down on the tail. The lion woke up angrily with a loud roar. He grabbed the mouse with his huge paw. The mouse struggled but could not escape. The lion opened his big jaws to swallow him. The mouse was really scared and said, "Oh lion, I'm really scared. Please don't eat me. Please let me go. Forgive me this time. I shall never forget it, and maybe one day I can help you." The lion was so amused by the idea of the mouse being able to help him that he let him go. The mouse said, "Thank you, lion. I will never forget your kindness." After a few days, the lion was going to the river to have a drink. Then two hunters set up a trap and caught the lion. The lion roared loudly for help. The mouse heard the lion and came as fast as he can. Then he climbed up on the trap and used his sharp little teeth to bite through the ropes. Finally, he freed the lion from the trap. The lion thanked the little mouse and became friends. And they lived happily ever after. Thank you. This is the end of my story. Bye.
Good morning, judges, teachers, and students. I am Chin Chi Hong from Class 5R. Today, I will be sharing a story with you called The Bull Tricked a Tiger. Thak Khun had an old bull which he called Balao. It was too old to do heavy chores. Balao was not as strong as before. Soon, Balao was of no use to Thak Khun anymore. Thak Khun planned to slaughter it. However, his wife did not agree. One day, the village where Thak Khun lived was attacked by a fierce tiger. All of the farm animals were also attacked by the tiger. The villagers were afraid and did not know what to do. The Pahu then called for a meeting. The villagers discussed ways to get rid of the tiger. "We must trap the tiger using a farm animal as bait," said the Pahu. "You will use Balao as bait as it is of no use to me anymore," said Thak Khun. "That is an excellent idea. It is the only way we can trap the tiger," said the Pahu. Everyone agreed to the idea. The next day, Balao was placed in front of a trap. At first, Balao felt sad. It did not like to be used as bait. Suddenly, Balao had an idea. It pretended to be dead. It lay quietly on the ground. Its mouth was left open and frothing. Soon, the fierce tiger appeared. It circled Bagao a few times. It wanted to make sure that it is really dead. The villagers were surprised and did not know why the tiger did not attack Bagao. The tiger continued to look around but did not attack Bagao. Bagao lay on the ground without moving. "I hope I fooled you," said Bagao to himself. At the same time, Bagao waited for the right moment to attack the tiger. It must be careful so as not to fall prey to the tiger. When the tiger was not watching, Bagao attacked the tiger. Bagao got the tiger's stomach. The tiger screamed out loudly in pain. The villagers jumped with joy. The tiger was killed and Bagao was safe. Pak Khun was very proud of Bagao. The moral of this story is, our fate lies in our own hands. Thank you, everyone.
Hey to all the judges, teachers, and friends. Today, I will be telling you a story entitled Real versus Fake. Minu was a sweet, lovable, and beautiful little girl, aged 6 years. She was an adorable kid, as she always obeyed her elders. Minu's parents loved her for her amazing behavior. One day, Minu's mother took her for grocery shopping. As they passed the shops, Minu noted a cute plastic pearl necklace in dazzling pink. She asked her mother to buy her the necklace. Her mom told her that it cost quite a few pennies. She asked Minu to do some chores so that for every completed piece of work, Minu would get some money and she could buy the pink necklace. Minu prepared a to-do list and assisted her mom with all the chores. Her mom was very happy and she paid enough money to buy the pink necklace. Minu happily purchased the necklace and wore it just everywhere, every time, except while taking a bath. Her mom told her that their neck would turn pink and the pearls would lose their sheen if she wore it while bathing. But all other times, Minu wore it, even while sleeping. Minu's father used to tell her bedtime stories frequently. One night, after finishing a story, Minu's father asked her how much she loved him. Minu replied, "You know how much I love you." Dad said, "Then give me your pearl necklace, please." Minu replied, "Please, Daddy, I love you so much, but please don't ask for these pearls. I will give you the pink Barbie, which you bought me a month ago." Dad said, "Fine, sweetheart." After a few days, the conversation was repeated between Minu and her father. Again, Minu refused to give up her pearl necklace and instead asked her dad to take her pet. Dad kissed her and left with a smile. This was repeated several times. One night, Minu slept while her dad was reading her a story. She was holding the pearl necklace in her hands. Her dad took the pearl necklace from her hands. The next moment, she woke up and asked, "Dad, what are you doing?" Dad quickly opened a jewel box placed near her bed and revealed a real, precious pink pearl necklace. Dad said, "Sweetheart, this is your real necklace. I have been trying to take away that fake one all this while to give you this real one. Mina replied, "Thank you, Daddy." She immediately gave up her fake necklace for the real one. The moral of this story is God wants us to give up all the fake and cheap things we consider very precious in our lives. It could be habits, hatreds, harming relationships, activities, etc. He will provide us with genuine things if we give up the fake. Thank you.
Very good morning to the honorable judges, teachers, and my fellow friends. Today, I would like to tell you a story about the phoenix and the frog. Once upon a time, in the land far, far away, lived two kings in the forest. One was the king of the lake and one was the king of the forest. The lake king was a frog and the forest king was a phoenix. All the animals in the forest adored the frog as he was humble, kind and respectful. On the other hand, the phoenix was rude, annoying and obnoxious. The other animals did not like the phoenix very much as he was short-tempered and lazy too. Because the other animals wanted the frog to be both the king of the lake and the forest too, they decided to organize a race between the frog and the phoenix to be the king. The phoenix was informed about the race and was very angry. "I am the only forest king. No one can beat me," he shouted. He soon agreed to the race. A week passed and it was the day to race. "I am way too strong and fast for that, frog. Might as well give me the position of king of the lake too," the phoenix said. "Let's bet then. If I win, I will be the new king of the forest, and you will have to leave this place. And if I lose, I would gladly have you to be the new king of the lake forever," the frog said. The other animals gasped and murmured to each other as the phoenix agreed immediately. The frog had actually come from a very poor family, so poor that they could barely afford any food, let alone a roof over their heads. But the frog's father always taught him that kindness was better than force. Since then, the frog always put it in his mind and never forgot about it. He always treated others kindly and soon became the king of the lake. But that never did stop him from being kind to others. The phoenix, on the other hand, was born in a very wealthy family, but they were very rude, so they were often mean and looked down on other people. While the phoenix was still daydreaming about life, having the whole forest and the lake to serve him, he didn't even hear the sound of the horn beeping 3 minutes ago. The frog was long gone and was just a speck of dot in the distance. "What are you doing? Fly! Fly!" the mother phoenix screeched. The phoenix was startled and immediately started flying at great speed. But it was too late. The frog had already reached the finish line, and the other animals raced there and cheered for the frog, leaving the phoenix and his family devastated. "You are a disgrace to this family! Leave this place at once!" the father phoenix shouted. The frog hopped over and smiled sweetly at the phoenix. "It looks like I won. Remember of our promise?" he said. The phoenix was very angry and flew away, never to be seen again. The frog was delighted to be the new king of the forest and ruled the kingdom greatly. The moral of the story is that kindness is better than force. Thank you.
Hello every teachers and classmates. Today I am going to tell you all a story named The Hungry Mouse. A mouse was having a very tough time. She had no food for many days and made strenuous efforts to get her food. All her efforts went in vain. She looked everywhere to find her food. As the days passed by, she became very thin. One day, the mouse found a basket with thorns. She also noticed a tiny hole in the basket, which was sufficient enough to move her in. She easily moved inside the hole. Since she had no food for many days, she ate a large amount of thorns. Without realizing, she continuously ate more and more thorns. She realized very later that she ate a lot more than she actually required. After eating a lot of thorns, she became very fat. Satisfied with thorns, the fat mouse tried to climb out of the basket through the small hole. Unfortunately, the tiny hole could not accommodate the big mouse. The mouse started screaming, "Oh God, let me come out. How can I come out?" A rat, after hearing Mouse's screaming voice from the basket, asked her what had happened. Mouse told the story and asked Rat a solution. Rat told, "If you want to come out of the basket, wait for some time or even days to lose all of your fat until you grow thin." Mouse started to starve now, but with lots of food to come out of the tree. In this story, I learned about anything too much is good for nothing. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning, teachers and friends. I am Paris Ng Hao Ying from 5J. Today I'm going to tell you the story about the coconut tree. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. There was once an old man. He was very, very old. Some people said he was 1,000 years old. He was also very wise and he knew many things. Many people came to visit him in his cave near the sea. They always asked him to help them. One day, a young man came to see this wise old man. "Oh, wise father," said the young man, "I want to be useful to people. I want to serve them all my life. How can I do it?" "That was very good," said the old man. "Here's a magic box. Do not open it until you reach home. If you open it now, something will happen to you." "Thank you, wise father." He took the box and left. When he was out of the cave, he stopped. "I wonder what is in the box," he said to himself. "I'm going to look." He opened the box, and at once he turned into a tall tree, a coconut tree. That was his punishment for disobeying the old man. But he still had his wish, because a coconut tree is very useful to people. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed it.
A very good morning to the Honorable Principal, teachers, and my dear friends. My name is Li Kai, and I'm from 5 Daisy. My dear friends, I have learned an interesting topic about money management during my mathematics class the other day. Well, do you know what often happens when people spend more money than they earn? Let us look at this story called Tanya's Money Problem to find it out. Tanya and Ted are twins, but they aren't the same about everything. Both Tanya and Ted each earns money every week by doing jobs around the house as well as for a couple of neighbors. Ted deposits about half of the money he earns into a savings account and uses some of it to buy stock. Ted likes to buy stock so that he can earn more money. I want to be a millionaire, millionaire, millionaire. I want to be a millionaire when I'm 25. Now Tanya is another story. She spends almost all her money every week. Keep on spending, keep on spending. Tanya's spending problem is made worse when she wants her own smartphone. She goes to Ted. My dear, sweet, precious brother, you know how much I want my own cell phone, right? Can you loan me $200? I'll pay you back. I promise. Hold on just a minute, sis. Loans won't come for free. You also have to pay me interest. Interest? What's that? asked Tanya. Interest is what banks charge people who borrow money to buy something big like a house or a car. Every month people pay back some of the money they borrow. The bank adds interest to the payment. Ouch! So how much interest will you charge me? asked Tanya. I'll give you 20 weeks to pay me back. Every week will be $11. After 20 weeks, you will have paid me $220. The extra $20 is the interest. Tanya reluctantly agrees to Ted's terms. Several weeks go by. Tanya falls further and further behind in her payments. Finally, in desperation, she goes to their father and explains her problem. Her dad says, number one, you either have to earn more money or spend less each week. Number two, you could take out another loan to pay for the first loan, but I wouldn't advise doing that. Oh yeah, number three, I guess you could sell your phone and repay the loan. Sell my phone? No way! Tanya storms out her room. She begins thinking about the choices her dad explained to her. Tanya knows she has to make a decision. What is she going to do? At the end, Tanya sells the cell phone and spends less each week to repay the loan. So, my dear friends, I think it's better for us to learn to save first and spend afterwards. As Benjamin Franklin once said, beware of little expenses. A small leak will sink a great ship. I guess starting from today, I can use some of my savings to buy stock. Thank you.
I'm from 5 generation class. I would like to share a short story to all of you. And the title is The Dangerous Helper. Let's see who is the dangerous helper. In a dense forest, there is a lake. All the animals used to drink water from the lake. The water of this lake was so sweet that many fish lived there for a long time. In this lake, lived a crab. The crab's best friend was a swan. That swan lived in the same lake. They were happy in the company of each other. Their happiness lasted until one day a snake made its home nearby the lake. Every day, the swan laid an egg. The snake would come and eat it all up. I have to find a way to save my eggs, said the swan. One day, he went to the crab and said, please help me, dear friend. My eggs are under threat. That cruel snake eats all the eggs in the nest. What can I do? The crab decided to help its best friend. The crab thought for a while. Then he said, I have an idea. Let us catch some fish from the lake and scatter them from the snake's house to the mongoose house. That mongoose lived in a nearby tree. Then the crab and the swan caught some fish and dropped them from the mongoose house all the way to the snake's house. Then both of them hid behind a tree and watched. Waited for some time. After some time, the mongoose finally came out. He saw the fish and was overjoyed. Fish right outside my own house, he said, smacking his lips. He happily ate all of them one by one. As he ate, he kept following the fish trail to the snake's house. Finally, the mongoose reached the house of the snake. Both the crab and the swan was watching all these events, waiting behind the tree. Then the snake saw the mongoose. He thought, that mongoose is here to attack me. I had better fight with him. After some time, the snakes started to fight with the mongoose. They fought for some time. After a fierce battle, the mongoose killed the snake. Watching this behind the tree, the swan and the crab heaved a sigh of relief, but her joy was short-lived. The next day, the mongoose, looking for more fish, came upon the swan's nest. There the mongoose found more eggs of the swan. He immediately ate all of them. The swan and the crab now felt helpless. They had brought this new trick upon themselves. They did not know that the mongoose was the dangerous helper. Our thoughtlessness has got us a new enemy, even more dangerous than the previous enemy, cried the two friends. After a few days, they decided to form one more plan to get rid of that dangerous helper, the mongoose. It is must be careful while fighting an enemy. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning to the honorable judges, beloved teachers, and fellow friends. Thank you for lending me your ears. Today, let me tell you a story entitled The Proud Red Rose. One beautiful spring day, a red rose blossomed in the forest. As the rose looked around, a pine tree nearby said, "Wow, what a beautiful flower! I wish I was that lovely." Another tree said, "Dear pine, don't be sad. You can't have everything." The red rose turned and remarked, "Looks like I'm the most beautiful flower in the forest." A sunflower raised yellow head and asked, "Why can you say that? There are many beautiful flowers in the forest. You are just one of them." The red rose replied, "I see everyone's looking at me and admiring me." The red rose looked at the cactus and said, "Look at that ugly plant full of thorns." The pine tree said, "Red rose, what kind of talk is this? Who can say what beauty is? You have thorns too." The red rose angrily looked at the pine tree and said, "I thought you have good taste. You don't know what beauty is. You cannot compare my thorns to that ugly plants." The red rose tried to move his thorns away from the cactus, but it could not move. As the day passed, the red rose kept insulting things to the cactus, like, "This plant is useless. How sorry I am to be its neighbor." The cactus never get upset. He even tried to advise the rose, saying, "God never correct me without any purpose." Spring has passed. The weather became very warm. Life became difficult in the forest. As there was no rain, the red rose began to wilt. One day, the red rose saw sparrows sticking their beaks inside the cactus, and then fly away refreshed. The red rose asked the pine tree what the birds are doing.
The pine tree explained that the birds are just getting water from the cactus. The rose asked the pine tree, does it hurt when the birds make holes in the cactus? Yes, it hurts, but the cactus doesn't want to see the birds suffer. The rose said, the cactus has water? Yes, the birds can bring it to you if you ask the cactus for help. The bird was felt too ashamed to ask help from the cactus. But it did finally ask help. The cactus kindly agreed. The birds fill their beaks in water and then water it at the rose roots. Learn this lesson and will never judge anyone by their appearance ever again. Thank you.
Hello teachers and students. Today I'm going to tell you guys a story about the arrogant swans. Once upon a time in a faraway kingdom, there was a river. This river was home to many golden swans. The swans spent most of their time on the banks of the river. Every 6 months, the swans would leave a golden feather as fee for using the lake. The soldiers of the kingdom would collect them and dispose them in the royal treasury. One day, a homeless bird saw the river. This water in this river seems so cool and soothing. I will make my home here, thought the bird. As soon as the bird settled down near the river, the golden swans noticed her. They came shouting, "This river belongs to us. We paid a golden feather to the king to use this river. You cannot live here. I'm homeless, brothers. I will pay the rent. Please give me shelter," the bird pleaded. "How will you pay the rent? You do not have golden feathers," said the swans, laughing. They further added, "Stop dreaming and leave once." The humble bird pleaded many times, but the arrogant swans drove the bird away. "I will teach them a lesson," decided the humiliated bird. She went to the king. "O king, the swans in your river are impolite and unkind. I begged for shelter, but they said that they had purchased the river with golden feathers." The king was so angry with the arrogant swans for having insulted homeless bird. He ordered his soldiers to bring all of the arrogant swans to his court. In no time, all the golden swans were brought to the king's court. "Do you think the royal treasury depends on your golden feathers? You cannot decide who lives by the river. Leave the river at once, or you will be all beheaded," shouted the king. The swans shivered with fear. On hearing king, they flew away and never returned. The bird built her home near the river and lived happy ever after. The bird gave shelter to all other birds in the river. Hope you guys like my story. Thank you.
Good morning to the honorable judges, teachers, and all my fellow friends. Today, I would like to tell you a story about the mouse, the frog, and the hawk. Once upon a time, there lived a little mouse who had the misfortune of being friends with a frog. The two got on most of the time, but the frog, being a mischievous fellow, often played a few pranks on his friend. One day, however, the prank went a bit too far. The frog decided to to tie the mouse first to his own leg. He dragged the mouse behind him to the meadow where they found their food. He then led the mouse to the edge of the pool where he lived. "See the beautiful place I live in," said the frog. Suddenly, he took a great big leap into the pool. He swam about croaking and laughing, pretending that he was giving the mouse a good time. "Are you having fun?" he shouted to the mouse. Instead, the mouse was coughed and spluttered as he was drowning. The frog did not notice that his friend was dead. He kept on swimming and the dead body of the mouse floated on the water. A large hawk was circling overhead. He saw the dead body of the mouse and swooped down to pick it up. Along with the mouse, the frog too got pulled up into the air and became a happy meal to the hawk. The moral value of the story is, hum hatch, you get what you give. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Tan Yu Hong Jordan from Firefly Zora. Today, I'm going to tell you an Arabic story called The Sadhu. Akbar is a new king. He came to the throne when he was only 13 years old. In the years that followed, he built on the greatest empires of his time. He was surrounded by those cultures who agreed with every word he said, who flattered him and treated him as if he were a god. Perhaps it was not surprising that Emperor Akbar was sometimes arrogant and behaved as if the whole world belonged to him. One day, Birbal decided to make the great emperor stop and think about life. That evening, as the emperor was walking towards his palace, he noticed a Sadhu was lying in the center of his garden. He could not believe his eyes. A strange Sadhu, in reddish clothes, right in the middle of the palace garden. The gods would be punished for this, thought the emperor fiercely as he walked over to the Sadhu and prodded him with the tip of his embroidered slipper. "Here, fellow," he cried. "What are you doing here? Get up and go at once!" The Sadhu opened his eyes. "So," he said in a sleepy voice. "Is this your garden then?" he said. "Yes, those courtyard, the fort beyond that. It all belongs to me." "Ah," said the Sadhu. "And the river, Uzor, and the city, and this country?" Yes, it's all mine," said the Emperor Akbar. "Now get out!" "Ah," said the Sadhu. "And before you, Uzor, who did the garden and fort and city belong to then?" "My father, of course," said the Emperor Akbar. In spite of her irritation, he was beginning to get interested in the Sadhu's questions. He loved philosophical discussions, and he could tell from his manner of speaking that the Sadhu was a learned man. "But who was here before him?" the Sadhu asked. "My father's father, as you know." "Ah," said the Sadhu. "So your garden, your fort, your city, your empire, these are only the places you will stay in for a time. Before that, they belonged to your father, am I right? And afterwards time, they belong to his son, and then to his son." "Yes," said the Emperor Akbar. "So each one stays here for a time and goes on his ways?" "Yes," said the Emperor Akbar. "Like a Dharmashala?" the Sadhu asked. "No one saw Mr. Dharmashala. It was the shade of a tree on the side of a road. We stop and rest for a while and then go on. And someone will always be before us and someone will always come after we have gone. Is that not so?" "Yes," said the Emperor Akbar. "So your garden, your palace, your fort, your empire, these are only the places you will stay in for a time. For the span of a lifetime, when you die, they will no longer belong to you. You will go, leaving them in the possession of someone else, just as your father did and his father did before him." The Emperor Akbar nodded. The whole world is a dough, mashallah, he said, thinking very hard. In which we mortals rest a while, that's what you're telling me, isn't it? Nothing on this earth can even belong to a single person, because each person is passing through the earth and must die one day. The sadhu nodded solemnly. Then, bowing to the ground, he removed his white beard and saffron turban, and his voice changed. Jahantana, forgive me, he said in his low voice. It was my way of asking you to think about. Birbal, oh Birbal, you're wiser than any philosopher. Come at once to a royal chamber and let us discuss this further. You and the Empress are but wayfarers of the path of life. It is clear. This is the end of my story. Thank you for your time.
Good morning to honorable judges, teachers, and all my friends. Today, I would like to tell you a story about the lion and the mouse. Once upon a time, there was a mouse who accidentally bumped into a lion's nose. Roar! The lion was furious. How dare you, little mouse! You dare to bump into me! I shall not forgive you! As the lion was about to eat the mouse squeaked weakly. Please, lion, please, your majesty, I'm just a little mouse, but I'll promise I will save you one day. Please, let go of me. The lion laughed. He thought, such a little mouse would save me? Ha ha ha! But he decided to let go of the mouse. Now go, before I change my mind. The mouse ran away with its tiny legs. The other day, the lion was near the river. He was thirsty, so he went to drink some water. But he did not see there were two hunters nearby. We were so lucky to get a lion. The hunters speak to each other and then was watching the show. Roar! The lion was furious because he was caught in a net. He tried to fight back, but it didn't budge. Quick, quick, go get the guns! The lion was furious as the hunters spoke to each other. The hunters ran back to their cottage and then went to get some guns to kill the lion. Out of the blue, the mouse was nearby. She heard the lion's roar and went to see what's happening. Your Majesty, why are you in the net? I'll help you if you want. The lion saw the mouse and then pleaded her. You, please get me out of here. I cannot be in here. Please. Little mouse. The mouse thought back to the time that the lion decided to let go of her. So she decided to save the lion. Don't move, Your Majesty. Please, I will come to save you now. The mouse climbed up to the net and then used her small but sharp teeth to bite a hole that was big enough for the lion to climb out. But when they were about done, the hunters were back with their gun and was about to kill the lion. Your Majesty, they're here. Please, we gotta go. The lions watched the mouse run away. He followed the example. When the hunters were there, they were confused and furious. Was it our imagination or anything? They dared to run away. Afterwards, the mouse and the lion became friends, and they're always there for each other. Thank you, everyone.
Good morning to the honorable judges, teachers, and my friends. Today, I would like to tell you a story entitled The Hidden Treasure. An old farmer had 3 sons. They were young and strong, but they were all very lazy. They wanted money to spend, but they did not want to work to earn money.
One day, the old farmer said to them, "I had buried some treasure in our field. Dig out the treasure and share it among you." So, the next day, the young man eagerly went to the field and started digging it. They worked hard for several days. They dug each and every inch of the field, but found no treasure anywhere. They went to their father and told him that they had failed to find the treasure. The father said, "Never mind. Now that you had dug the field so well, let us sow it with corn." So they sowed the field with corn. Luckily for them, it rained very well that year. The corn dripped, and the field looked beautiful with the rich crop. The young man showed the field to their father with great pride. The father said, "What a wonderful crop! This is the very treasure that I wanted you to share among you. If you work hard, you will sure get treasure year after year." My friends, this story tells us sweet are the fruits of labor. Thank you.
Honorable judges, below teachers, and fellow friends. Thank you for lending me your ears. Today, let me tell you a story entitled The Cunning Fox and the Clever Stork. Once upon a time, there lived a very cunning and mischievous fox. He used to speak to other animals sweetly and gain their trust before playing tricks on them. One day, the fox met the stork. He befriended and the stork acted like a very good friend. Soon, he invited the stork to have a feast with him. The stork happily accepted the invitation. The day came. The fox went to the fox's house. To her surprise and disappointment, the fox said he couldn't make a big feast as promised and just offered some soup. When he brought the soup out of the kitchen, the stork saw as a shallow bowl. The poor stork couldn't have any soup with his long bill, but the fox easily licked the soup from the plate. As the stork touched the soup, the tip with its bill, the fox asked her, "How is the feel? Don't you like it?" "I'm sorry for troubling you," said the fox. The stork replied, "Oh dear, please don't say sorry. I've some health problem. I couldn't enjoy what you offer." She left the place after thanking the fox and invited him to her house. The day arrived. The fox reaches the stork's place. After exchanging pleasantries, the stork serves a bowl for both of them in a roll jar with a long neck. She was able to have the soup easily with her long neck bill, but the fox obviously could not. After finishing her, the fox asked the fox if he was enjoying the soup. The fox remembered he feasted himself and had given the stork. He felt ashamed. He stammered, I'd better leave now. I've tummy ache." Humiliated, he left the place running. Thank you.
Good morning to the honorable judges, teachers, and all of my fellow friends. Today, I would like to tell you a story about the young shoot and the wooden stick. Once upon a time, there stood a young shoot whose leaves grew proudly towards the sky. Beside it stood a straight dry stick and a fence. The young shoot looked upon the stick and the fence with contempt. The young shoot would wake up from his slumber as the sun rose every single morning and turn to the stick and say, "You rough, ugly stick! Why are you growing so close to me? Can't you move further away?" But the old stick would remain silent. When it could not get a response, the young shoot would then turn to the fence and shout, "Hey fence! You two are standing too close to me.
Yet the two of you are standing too close to me. I hate both of you. The fence pretended not to hear the young shoot's voice and remained silent too. A flitting butterfly overheard the commotion. It perched itself on the fence and said to the young shoot, "Beautiful young plant, how arrogant you are. You keep thinking about how they are bothering you. Did you not realize that you are a climbing plant? You depend on the stick to grow tall and on the fence to stay protected from invaders." After that, the stick and the fence never heard an unkind word from the young shoot ever again, not even a little squeak. In this story, the young shoot should apologize for his rudeness and arrogance. We learn that if we do not treasure the things we have, we may be abandoned one day. Thank you.